Alright, let's talk about the conjugate root theorem. And remember from the quadratics units that anytime we have a complex solution, be it we have I or a square root, they always travel in pairs. It's always plus or minus. So when we talk about automatic additional roots, remember they never travel alone. So if I have I, I'm also going to have negative I. If I have the square root of 3, I'm also going to have negative square root of 3. If I have negative I, I'm also going to have I. If I have positive 2 square root of 11, I'm going to have negative 2 square root of 11. Okay? If I have 5i, I'm going to have negative 5i. If I have 2 plus 7i, I also must have 2 minus 7i. Notice the only thing changing is plus and minus signs. If I have 2 plus 3i, I must have 2 minus 3i. If I have positive square root of 7, I must have negative square root of 7. If I have negative 4i, I must have positive 4i. If I have 6 minus I have to have 6 plus I. If I have 5 minus the square root of 6, I must have 5 plus the square root of 6. If I have negative 2 plus the square root of 10, and this is where you can make a mistake. I still have negative 2, but it's minus the square root of 10. So the only thing you're changing is plus and minus signs. So as we get into writing a polynomial with imaginary or irrational roots, one thing to think about is, let me just write this down, x squared minus the sum x plus the product. Okay? And you'll see where that comes into play in a moment. So if we take 2 and the square root of 3, just 2 will give me a factor of x minus 2. But because I have the square root of 3, I also know I have negative square root of 3. Okay? So here, I could write x minus the square root of 3 and x plus the square root of 3. So we're going to multiply these two together first to show you something. So that's going to give me x squared plus the square root of 3 minus the square root of 3 and then minus 3. So the middle cancels out and I'm just left with x squared minus 3 times x minus 2. Okay? So anytime you have just the radical, it's going to multiply to x squared minus whatever the radical is. Okay, so if we continue and we FOIL this x minus 2, this is going to give me x cubed minus 2x squared minus 3x plus 6 as the actual polynomial. Okay, but the thing to remember is if you have radical a or the square root of a and negative square root of a, then your factor is going to be x squared minus whatever a is. Okay, it's going to be x squared minus whatever a is. So if I have the square root of 5, and I know I must have negative square root of 5, that's just going to, the factor will become x squared minus 5. Okay? Now, with I, you know we're going to have negative I and positive I. So we could say, let's do this on a separate page. If I have I, negative I, and negative 5. So let's say that that becomes x minus I and x plus I and x plus 5. So this becomes I squared plus ix minus I squared. So we get x squared minus I squared, which we know is -1. So this becomes x squared plus 1. So when you have an I, if you have a number I, whatever that number I is, your factor is going to become x squared plus whatever the number in front of I squared is squared. So that number squared. And I'll show you what I mean in a moment after we finish this one. So if we continue with x plus 5, now we can FOIL again. So it becomes x cubed plus 5x squared plus x plus 5. And that is your polynomial there. But if we look at number 10, go back and let's look at number 10, where we have 2i and negative I. So we know we're going to have negative 2i and a positive I. Right here, we have the 2. So my factor, let's start with page again. We got 2i, negative 2i, negative I, and I. So given that we have the 2, the factor will become x squared plus 2 squared is 4. So x squared plus 4. That's understood to be 1, so that will become x squared plus 1. And then we can multiply these two. You get x to the 4th plus x squared plus 4x squared plus 4. So it's x to the 4th plus 5x squared plus 4. Okay. So let's look at a problem like number 9, where you have negative square root of 6, which tells me I'm also going to have the square root of 6. You have the square root of 3, which tells me that I'm going to have negative square root of 3. So again, my factors are going to become x squared minus 6, taking whatever that radical is. That becomes x squared minus 3. So notice if it's just the square root of something, it's minus. If it's an I involved, it becomes plus. So then I can FOIL this to x to the 4th minus 9x squared plus 18. All right. Let's look at number 13. Okay? Well, we have 8i, which tells me I need negative 8i. We have negative square root of 7, which tells me I have the square root of 7. So again, with the I, we're going to square the 8. So it's going to be x squared plus 64. And x squared, just regular square root. So it's going to be minus the radical, which is 7. Okay? And then FOIL this, and you get x to the 4th minus 7x squared plus 64x squared minus 64 times 7, which is 448. So my answer is x to the 4th plus 57x squared minus 448. Now, if you have a binomial 0, such as number 19. Take a look at number 19. This is where the x squared plus the sum x plus the product comes in. Okay? Well, talking about number 19. We'll go to a separate page again. So we got the 6, And we have 3 minus 2i, which also means we're going to have 3 plus 2i. So I just deal with these two for a moment. If I do 3 minus 2i and 3 plus 2i, if I add them up, the sum is 6. If I multiply them, use your calculators to multiply them. So I'll do it by hand here. So we'll get 9. The middle's going to cancel. We'll get minus 4i squared. So 9 plus 4 is 13. So here's my product. And here's my sum. So the factor, we got the 6. So that becomes x minus 6. And this becomes x squared minus the sum. So minus 6x plus the product, 13. And then we can multiply these out to x cubed minus 6x squared plus 13x minus 6x squared plus 36x minus 78. So that polynomial is x cubed minus 12x squared plus 39x minus 78. Well, let's look at number 20. Number 20. Again, we'll go to a separate page. We have x is negative 5. 1 minus the square root of 3, and we're going to also have 1 plus the square root of 3. So again, we add them up, 2, that's our sum. If we multiply them, that's going to be 1, middle cancels, so minus 3, which is negative 2. That's our product. So with the negative 5, our factor becomes x plus 5. Now we have x squared minus the sum, so minus 2x, plus the product, so then minus 2, because we never say plus negative. Now we can fold these again. We get x cubed minus 2x squared minus 2x plus 5x squared minus 10x minus 10. Combine like terms, so that polynomial is x cubed plus 3x squared minus 12x minus 10. So go back, you can review the rest of the packet and then do the practice worksheet. Thanks.